Well, hello. Welcome to the show. It is Sunday, June 9th, 2019. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Okay, good. I've got a mic. Hi, Zach. How's it going?
I
Cool. All right. Well, let's hop into the I'll have to adjust that later. I'm slightly off center in my shot. Oh well. um
don't think anyone would have noticed if
they might have. It looked a little goofy. Anyway, that kind of thing is noticeable-ish. So
is it.
I think so. Then again, I
All right,
also
then.
I also worked in TV, and so I see things that other people don't necessarily see. But I was definitely off to one side a little bit. So I forgot to turn on the TV behind me. Normally I do that. Oh well. So update time. So this is new. Which, oh great, now the phone's ringing too. But yeah, this is new right here. This is you're going to be proud of me, Zach.
Oh, am I?
Yes,
I can't see it.
I got a new tablet.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm not watching, so I can't see it.
Uh, wait, what did you say?
Well, I'm not watching, so I can't hear it.
You can't hear it or you can't see it?
This is dumb. It's like, no, I'm not watching, so I can't see it.
I know, that's what makes this even better. No, this is a Samsung tablet. So this is like a 10 point something inch,
What
Galaxy
is
Tab
it,
A.
though? Tab A.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is gonna be my brand new, decent Android tablet. I'm giving this thing a try. I got it for like 60% off. So pretty good deal. Here's what happened. So there is a retailer in my area that is going out of business, and stopped by the other day, saw that they had some electronic tablets on sale. Well, all tablets are electronic, but anyways, saw that they had tablets on sale, and kind of looked
Could
at
be
the
a stone
prices.
tablet.
It could be. But looked at the prices, and this one I got for about, like, I want to say 116, I think is what it was.
I'm
Off of
surprised it was even that much, 60% off. Like, the Tab A's are not really
this thing was a couple $100.
the high end. The Tab A's are
They're,
like middle of the road to low end as far as I can tell. I don't know. I've used a couple of I didn't really like the Samsung ones.
really?
Although I guess I worked on an S4, a Tab S4 the other day, and it was like okay. But even for the price, I don't think I would buy something like that. Like the thing cost what? Man, for some reason I got $399 stuck in my head, although I have no
I
idea.
never would have bought this thing for full retail. Because it was
Right,
60%
and-
off, that's why I decided to pick it up.
And the only thought that I had about that S4 was like, well, I could get a Surface for the same amount of money. And
Really?
it's basically a more functional device. Yeah, you can get a Surface Go for like $400,
So,
and it's basically a fully functional Windows device and this little tablet thing. Obviously, you're heavily limited by the processing power and the memory, but it works.
this thing works way better than some of the other tablets that I have, Android tablets that I have, because the other Android tablets I have are definitely very low-end ones, and you can definitely tell they're not very good. This thing is actually decent.
Yeah.
So part of the reason I bought this was because previously I was using my iPad as a display for the teleprompter app that I use for some of our videos, and I wanted to replace it with this because I don't really have any other Apple products. And one thing that I can do with the application that we have for the prompter is use a second device as a remote, but those two devices have to be the same thing. So they either have to be both Android or both iOS. And the other tablets I have were kind of pieces of crap.
Like, why can't it just be Bluetooth or something like that?
It does work over Bluetooth, but I don't know. It's weird.
That's
Anyway,
dumb.
I don't disagree. But anyway, so yeah. But this is my brand new little tablet here, and I'm going to be using it for the show probably. So, anyway. Zach, robocalls.
Annoying.
Well, robocalls can now get blocked by your carrier by default.
Fair enough.
So, the FCC, yeah, that little thing, unanimously the other day allowed carriers to block robocalls by default, setting the stage for the major carriers to take action against the surge of unwanted automated calls that basically everyone hates. So, kind of cool. The agency also voted to move forward on a proposed rule that would require carriers to adopt the shaken or stir caller ID authentication system if they do not do it themselves by year end. Whatever the heck all that is. But anyway. So, robocalls are one of those things that, like, no matter who you are, it's one of the few issues as well that the FCC is totally aligned on in terms of they just, boom, need to go away. So, but the unwanted calls are by far the number one issue consumers file complaints about. And so, Mr. Ajit Pai has called them the scourge of civilization. While some other guy named Jeffrey Starks said that the unwanted calls have changed the fabric of our culture when he appeared on the Vergecast last month. This article is from The Verge.
I mean, it seems to me like they're being a bit dramatic about it, but sure. I mean, I don't know.
It's been a major issue for a long time, though.
Well, yeah, but like the scourge of civilization? I don't think so.
Well,
yeah, they're really annoying.
Ajit Pai's also
annoying?
Ajit Pai is also the person who walks around the FCC with a giant Reese's peanut butter coffee mug.
Does he?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you've never seen this? Ajit Pai mug. I gotta show this to you.
Okay.
Hang on. Hold on. Boink. Yep.
Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, so this is a thing. Oh, hello. Yeah. So, but
I mean, honestly, the mug should probably say like Comcast or something. Because that's basically who he works for.
Oh, I love that.
Oh wait, wasn't he a lawyer for Verizon? Maybe it should say Verizon instead.
Yeah, he was a lawyer for Verizon.
I was just picking a cable company off the top of my head, but I guess since he used to work for Verizon and definitely still doesn't, it could be Verizon instead.
I like that. That's kind of funny. That is actually really funny. Yeah. So, does it surprise you now that he may have done that? The point I was trying to get is that he's a little out there.
He's a little out there. Look, sometimes you just like some candy, whatever.
So, do you know who John Oliver is?
Oh, it's that guy with that show. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. So, anyway, so he thought he did a piece one time on net neutrality.
Yep,
And
he did, and a lot of people flooded the FCC after that.
Right. And
they crashed the server.
As one thing that he did, he also this was also a thing. He was making fun of Ajit Pai for his giant mug, and then like look at how big that thing is. Thing is huge.
It's a bit of a thing.
Anyway, so that was a thing that John Oliver did. But anyway, so I don't even know where you get a mug that big. But yeah, so anyway, back to this. The vote came just 2 weeks after FCC Chairman Ajit Pai proposed the blocking rule, which he said was designed to give carriers certainty about whether automatic blocking was allowed or not. Carriers like AT&T and T-Mobile have offered robo-blocking services for a while, but they were opt-in, and the new rule gives them cover to enable those services by default and restrict calls to numbers that are already in your contact list. So basically, here's the block quote from the FCC press release. The commission approved a declaratory ruling to affirm that voice service providers may, as the default, block unwanted calls based on reasonable call analytics, as long as their customers are informed and have the opportunity to opt out of the blocking. Not that I think anyone would, but I can see maybe why. The ruling also clarifies that providers may offer their customers the choice of opt-in to tools that block calls from any number that does not appear on a customer's contact list or other whitelist. The option would allow consumers to decide directly whose calls they are willing to receive. Consumer whitelist could be based on the customer's own contact list, updated automatically as consumers add and remove contacts from their smartphones. I'm on board with this. So
I mean, the contact list thing, it seems kind of weird, but I guess it's an opt-in, so whatever. But yeah,
right.
sure.
If you
Auto-blocking
want it.
robocalls. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's have it.
Yeah, so importantly, the new rule does not require carriers to turn on robocall blocking by default, and it doesn't mandate that any such services have to be free.
Okay. Well, if they're going to enable it by default, it's probably going to be free, right? Like, how does that work?
See, so Chairman Pai, Pai's official statement on the vote does not say anything about the service being free, but Commissioner Starks issued a statement saying that he does expect these services to be free. Here's why. Providers who implement these services will save billions of dollars as network capacity is freed up, which makes sense. So he says, I would have serious concerns about a carrier that includes a line item on consumers' bills or otherwise charges them for these services.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll have to see, though.
So, in other words, he's probably going to have serious concerns about every carrier.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but, I mean, come on, carriers can't resist.
I'm like half joking.
Yeah. But
the fact is that I'm only half joking, and that's kind of sad.
Like I said, we'll see what happens. But here's the thing, Zach. Okay? Carriers can't resist a fee.
Well, yeah, but they also can't resist, like, cheaping out.
This is true. This is true. So, anyway, moving on. So Android Q, I guess, is the next operating system that's coming out. And Google has temporarily paused beta updates after some Pixel devices may or may not have sort of kind of started boot looping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Google, why'd you do that?
Whoops. So the other day, Google released the 4th beta for Android Q, which was made available via OTA, which is basically over-the-air updates for Pixels, and might have hinted at improved face unlock for future devices. They may have forgotten to mention the whole part about how your device might start boot looping, though. So, Anyway. But yeah, so unfortunately, some number of Pixel users who downloaded and installed the over-the-air update have run into a problem. Their phones boot
like
looped.
Their phones won't start now?
Yeah, they basically just boot loop, going into a constant reset state. So, as Android Central notes, Google has updated a post on Reddit. I love this. On Reddit. To say that it is pushing the rollout, or pausing the rollout, of the latest beta while it looks into these issues. So here's what Google wrote. We are aware of an issue with Android Q Beta 4 released or related to installing updates. We've temporarily paused Beta 4 OTA updates to all Pixel devices. As we investigate the issue, we apologize for any inconvenience and will provide an update once the issue is resolved.
Well,
this goes on to say, though, that it's pretty boilerplate because it's weird that this note is appearing just as an update on a Reddit post. Because the Android Twitter account hasn't even noted anything.
I'm not surprised.
So, anyway. So, they go on to say that it looks like a black eye for what has otherwise been a fairly reliable program for Google over the years. And it's especially ironic because Google has been working to change the way Android installs updates work. So there's a method called AB, Seamless System Updates. This is actually kind of cool. Have you heard about this?
Nope.
So here's what
I don't get to have updates on my phone.
So here's what it's supposed to. It's kind of supposed to work like how Chrome updates or Chrome OS does it. So when there's a new OS update that comes in, it installs in a separate partition, and then when the phone resets, it checks out the new update, and then if it's fine, it installs it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. And if it's not, Android should just be able to revert back to the known good version of OS, which for whatever reason that safety net actually failed in the beta update. So yeah. So if you're on the beta and haven't installed the update yet, you should definitely hold off on doing that.
Definitely don't want to.
Yeah, but if you're one of the lucky ones who has, Android Central has a few steps that you can try to recover your phone, but they're saying that it might actually involve a factory reset. So yeah, for everyone else, okay, this is why you shouldn't install beta builds, at least on your primary devices. So this says, no matter how normalized it's become in recent years, with both Google and Apple offering public betas, they're called betas for a reason.
Well, that's definitely a thing, yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, so if you have a Pixel, beware right now. Don't install, like, if you're going to do it, have a second device to do it with. Don't do it on your primary device. So, anyway. Moving right along, time for one of our favorite parts of the show. It is time for the Microsoft news. You know, Microsoft actually kind of did something scandalous again this time.
Uh-oh.
So, earlier last week, Microsoft removed a database of more than 10 million faces intended as a test and training data set for facial recognition algorithms, according to a report by the Financial Times. So upon reading that, okay, sure, okay, find a database of a bunch of people, right? So it was known as MS Celeb. The database contained more than 10 million images of roughly 100,000 people, largely scraped from publicly available online sources. Do you start to see where this is maybe going to start turning into a problem here soon?
Yeah.
So, while no individual photo in the database was difficult to find, yeah, the volume of images and the structured data accompanying them made the database extremely useful in training programs to recognize a person's face across different photos. But the takedown came after an earlier Financial Times investigation found that many of the people represented in the database were
unaware, perhaps?
And did not did not consent to having that their personal pictures used. So that was a thing. Yeah. Way to go, Microsoft!
Good job, guys.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, a number of experts speculated that the dataset might encounter legal issues under the General Data Protections Regulation. Okay. Which imposes significant requirements for the storage and transfer of a subject's personal data. That sounds about right.
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, notably, Microsoft did not announce the removal of the dataset and downplayed its significance in a comment to FT. The site was intended for academic purposes. The spokesperson said it was run by an employee that is no longer with Microsoft and has since been removed. Now, I don't know why this particular employee is no longer with Microsoft. We could speculate a lot of things, but at the end of the day,
Probably could.
I don't know. There were also two similar data sets run by Duke University and Stanford were also taken down in the wake of the FT's reporting. So, yeah. So that's the thing that Microsoft did. So yeah. But, All right. Man, there's just not a super ton to discuss with these stories this week. But we're about to get into one of your I think these last ones here, because we only got a few more topics left for this week. But I think these are going to be some good ones here. There wasn't a ton of great stuff in the news this week. However, Apple did drop a brand new Mac Pro. Did you hear about this?
Meh.
So, WWDC was the other day. And, anyway.
Mac Pro.
So, yeah, this is what the new Mac Pro looks like.
I saw that, yep. Looks like a cheese grater.
That's exactly what it's being called. The Mac Pro cheese grater.
So now we've upgraded from a trash can to a cheese grater. Oh my. New technology.
You can grate your cheese with your new cheese grater and then put that into your trash can.
Oh yes. Of course.
However though, okay, so here's the thing about this. Apple might actually be doing something slightly smart here because this thing's modular.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Right, yeah. So that's one of the big selling points behind this thing is that it's modular. So modularity?
Modularity? What?
Yeah, modularity. There we go. Is the word of the day as far as Apple's newly announced and redesigned Mac Pro is concerned. The computer features a return to the old cheese grater look, but redesigned and with a strong eye toward flexibility and expansion. So that's going to be one of the new things on this. So, the question for owners of the most recent desktop Mac powerhouse, the iMac Pro, will be: should you abandon your current system for the new Mac Pro, which will start at any guesses?
$3,000.
Higher.
Of course. I was going for pretty high with that one, but I guess I didn't aim for the moon. $4,000.
$5,999.
$6,000? Are you serious?
And that's the base model.
That's the starting price for this thing?
Yeah. So the iMac Pro starts at any guesses? Now, keep in mind it comes with a 27-inch 5K display in it.
$10,000.
No, $4,999.
Oh, okay.
So it's even cheaper. It's a grand cheaper.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's a whole $1,000 cheaper.
Well, yeah, but you have to consider that this thing doesn't. The new cheese grater doesn't come with a display, so you got to include that. And if you want the privilege of having the brand new Mac Pro, like, or the Display Pro monitor that they came out with, which is a 5K monitor, the thing starts
Why
at like $1,000 or
5K? What a
something.
weird resolution.
Right, yeah, but it starts at like $5,000. Anyway, so The Verge took a look at the specs of the current iMac Pro, which launched back in December of 2017, and what was announced the other day for the new Mac Pro, which is going to be shipping this fall. So before we get into the specs, one important difference: the iMac Pro will be user configurable, and the iMac Pro is not. So that is one thing. And I think that was a smart move on Apple's part. Anyway, so this alone can make a huge difference, especially for creators of businesses that may want to upgrade their systems in the future. For sure. So, both the iMac Pro and the new Mac Pro 2019, this is a little... Well, okay. They're both running on the Intel Xeon W processor, which was first introduced in August of 2017 and has been updated since. So hopefully it's running the newest one. The iMac starts with an 8-core 3.2 gigahertz processor and goes up to 18-core 2.3 gigahertz processors with a 19 megabytes of cache. The Mac Pro starts with a more powerful 3.5 gigahertz 8-core processor with 24.5 megabyte. Why can't I talk today? Megabytes of cache, and zooms up to an impressive 28 cores, 2.5 gigahertz processor with 66.5 megabytes of cache. So you can go up to a 28 core processor in the new Mac Pro. If you need that.
Is that the one that starts at $6,000? How much do you get for the $6,000 starter model?
We'll look in a minute, but that's going to be an 8-core processor.
8?
Mm-hmm.
8? What?
It's Apple, dude! It's Apple! It is Apple!
Joke?
Well, look at
If you told me this was a joke, I'd believe you.
Dude, it's gonna get better. Just hang on.
Oh,
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Like, surely at least, that comes with like a high-end part.
Just wait. Right? I'm gonna blow your mind in a bit,
Cores.
and it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious, but just wait. We'll get there. Stick around, people. So anyway,
oh my God.
Here let's talk about the memory now. So the iMac Pro supports 32, 64, and 128, as well as 256 gigabyte configurations of DDR4 ECC memory. While the new Mac Pro is going to handle so the new Mac Pro is going to handle 32 gigabytes to 1.5 terabytes of DDR4 ECC memory, and will be completely user configurable. So theoretically, you're getting an 8-core processor with 32 gigs of RAM in your base configuration.
Utterly just boneheaded.
Let's talk about graphics now. So the iMac Pro comes with an AMD Radeon Pro Vega 56 graphics processor with 8 gigabytes of HBM2 memory. Or you can also
which Mac are we talking about now? How much does this one cost?
This is the $5,000 one. This is the previous generation one. Okay.
Okay.
And you can also opt for the higher level Vega 64 and 64X processors, both with 16 gigabytes of memory in them. Now, the cheese grater will have you configure will let you configure 2 of Apple's new MPX modules with up to 4 GPUs. Okay? You will have to choose, or you'll have the choice of the AMD Radeon Pro 580X, which is 8 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory, and the AMD Radeon Pro Vega 2, which has 32 gigabytes of HBM2 memory, or the AMD Radeon Pro Vega 2 Duo, which comes with 2 Vega 2 GPUs and a total of 64 gigabytes of HBM2 memory.
You're telling me that for this much money, I can configure multi-GPUs like I've been able to do with the PC for...
Yeah, but you're going to end up spending a lot of money on this thing. Because, of course, Apple has, some proprietary kind of, card kind of thing that has to go in there or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, the new MPX modules. That's what they Expansion and ports. So here's where the advantage of the Mac Pro is especially obvious. It will come with 8 PCI Express card expansion slots, 2 MPX bays, which can also be used as 4 PCI Express slots, 3 full-length PCI Express slots, and a half-length PCI Express slot. So that last slot will ship holding an I/O card with 2 USB 3 ports, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and a 3.5mm audio jack.
Okay. Great.
The system will also include 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports on top by the power button and 2 10 gigabit Ethernet ports on the back. That's actually kind of cool. The iMac Pro
Cool, Nick. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. The iMac Pro offers an Ethernet port, an SDXC card slot with support for UHS-2, 4 USB 3 ports, and 4 Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports, none of which can be changed or upgraded. So here's the conclusion from The Verge. They say, obviously, they can't make any judgments about the worth of Apple's new Mac Pro until they have one in their hands. We can give it a thorough test, but judging from the initial specs, this could be a really impressive machine for creators and others who need speed, flexibility, and the ability to upgrade when they want to, assuming they have the money to do it.
What? Like a PC?
Right?
That sounds like a PC.
So we'll look at this in a minute. In terms of what pricing is going to look like on these. But let's move on to Apple's Pro Display, because this is the other thing that they announced with the brand new what is it? Mac Pro. So son of a gun. Give my page a second to load here. So Apple just announced the latest Pro level monitor.
Honestly, I didn't even know Apple made monitors.
Yeah, they do. The 4,999. No, they've made monitors in the past before, but this is the 4,999 6K Pro Display XDR, according to Apple's official technical spec page for the Pro Display XDR, which in the box. Are included in the box with the new $4,999 monitor will be, here's what you get: a power cord, a Thunderbolt 3 Pro cable, and a polishing cloth.
Oh, a polishing cloth. Oh my gosh.
But you know what's conspicuously missing from the box?
No.
A stand.
Maybe. Oh.
There's no stand in the box. So, Apple announced...
You need to pay extra for that.
Yep. So, Apple announced on stage that the nifty magnetically attached Pro stand, which allows the screen to tilt, angle, and even rotate from landscape to portrait modes, will be sold separately for... any guesses as to how much the stand is going to cost you?
$300. I have no idea.
So let's
Please
back
don't
up here.
say more.
Let's back up here. So you're spending $4,999 on your
but it's
6K.
just a stand. It can't be that complicated. It's gonna be more, isn't it?
On your 6K Pro Display XDR monitor. What you get? Comes with
It's
a
gonna
monitor.
be more, isn't it?
Comes with a power cord. Comes with
Tell
the
me,
Apple
how much is
Thunderbolt 3 Pro cable, and a polishing cloth.
How much is it?
But for the
privilege.
privilege of having a stand, Apple is going to charge you a whopping $999.
Lovely.
$999 for a stand. That's why I told you this gets even better. It's not enough that you're spending, what, $5,000 on a monitor? But Apple cannot be bothered to put a freaking stand in the box. No, that's extra. But they included a cleaning cloth.
Oh, so when your monitor is like laying down on your desk because you don't have a stand for it, at least it won't be getting dusty.
Well, Apple announced on the company didn't mention that it, along with the 199 VESA mount adapter, will be required, which will require you to buy another third-party stand, are the only stand options for the Pro Display XDR. Of course. Despite the fact that the name implies some sort of amateur stand option that lacks the fancy tricks of precise mechanism in the arm that counterbalances the display of the Pro stand, that doesn't appear to be the case. So that leaves the Pro stand as a $999 device that's crucial to the basic setup and use of the already expensive monitor it's designed for. That also means customers will have to shell out extra money if they want to use the device at all. In other words, Apple may have just announced the priciest dongle of all time.
Of course.
So the Pro Display XDR isn't available to buy yet, so it's entirely possible the Apple Store configurator tool won't allow you to buy a Pro Display XDR without it, including one of the two stand options, which are much like how you can't buy an Apple Watch without a band attached. Okay. So if that's going to be the case, then why not just include it in the price of the frickin' thing? Why make it an extra add-on? Yeah. Apple happen. I can't talk today. Apple hasn't explained why the Pro stand is so expensive. Any speculation as to why this thing might be so expensive?
It has advanced algorithms in.
Wait, hold on. I know why. Because it's frickin' Apple!
No, but it has advanced algorithms. Come on, man, you know that.
The company is using its own proprietary mounting system, of course, to connect the Pro stand and VESA mount to the Pro Display XDR.
Yeah, exactly. It's an advanced mounting mechanism.
Which the company notes is designed to allow owners to easily move the display around, say from a set to a studio or vice versa. But $1,000 seems to be pretty hefty for that kind of versatility. Yeah. This says that they don't know how proprietary like Apple's magnetic system is, or whether third-party companies will be allowed to, or even physically able to design and sell their own hopeful cheaper options. I'm sure somebody will figure it out at some point. Given how historically tight grip on what third-party accessories... Wait, what? Given Apple's historically tight grip on what third-party accessories it allows for its devices, though, it may not be worth getting your hopes up. But why would that... If a company can, why would that stop a company from just manufacturing something? I don't think Apple can actually sue them over that.
Sued.
For what?
I don't know. Bunch of trash, probably.
Probably. I don't see how that would...
They'll just complain about their copyrights and stuff.
Probably. Yeah. So $4,999 for display and $1,000 for a stand. So your brand new monitor just cost you $5,000. Yeah. That's... And people wonder why I don't like Apple anymore. Because they go and do stuff like this. However, if you're one of those people who, for whatever outrageous decision, you are planning on buying a Mac Pro, okay? And you don't want to spend an astronomical amount of money on a display, MSI may have an option for you. So when Apple announced an optional stand for its Pro Display XDR at WWDC 2019, the company was met with disbelief and derision when it revealed the price, $999, For the stand. In fact, I saw a video of it. I think people actually booed when they announced that price for the stand.
I hope they did.
Anyway, so MSI has mocked the ridiculous price of the Pro Stand with an advert for its 5K Prestige monitor, using a similar format to Apple's I'm a Mac adverts. MSI must really have it in for the in for Apple, I guess. Let's see here. So, let me hang on. So for $999, you will get, well, just a stand with Apple's Pro Stand. With the MSI Prestige, you get a 5K Nano IPS display, which is HDR 600 certified and offers 98% DCI P3 color gamut. And also includes a stand. Any guesses as to how much this thing costs?
$999.
No. $999 for just the stand for Apple. How much does a
Yeah, exactly.
5K Nano?
And I was thinking that the monitor and everything would cost the same amount, right?
So how much does MSI's option cost you?
I don't know. Less? It's probably less, isn't it?
It is more than $999, but how much more?
I don't know. Tell me.
$1,299.
Close enough.
5K Nano IPS display, 600 or HDR 600 certified, and a 98 DCI P3 color gamut, and it's got a stand. MSI figured it out. Why can't Apple figure it out? I don't understand
Apple
why.
does what they can get away with.
You're
let
right.
them get away with that garbage.
You know what?
So.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Apple's like the company that can apparently do no wrong. I don't get how it works. And this is one of the things that frustrates me so much about Apple, is that they seem to do these outrageous things, and people continuously still buy their products and give them money. If people finally put their foot down and said, no. Like, I would like to see people not buy the Pro Display because of the fact that you have to shell out $1,000 for a stand. A stand!
But you know, that reminds me, yesterday I worked on a guy's MacBook, and so he paid like $2,500 for the computer, which was just like comparable to like a reasonably high-end PC, like laptop PC. Not crazy high-end PC, but pretty high-end PC. He paid $2,500 for it. The display was cracked. Guess how much it cost to send that thing out? $1,000.
I was gonna say 600, but holy mackerel!
Well, the truth is that no one tells us how much it actually costs. So the only thing that I get to tell him is it can cost anywhere from $570 to $1,000. But you have to approve up to $1,000 before we can do that.
How does that work? Normally when you go someplace, you know how much something's going to be. That's just ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
I don't know. Because we can't open it up and see like what it's going to cost to fix it. So it has to get sent out, and they will determine how much it's going to cost. That is all.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to find pricing for the Mac Pro.
Honestly, who cares?
Well,
and to conclude my story, he was not happy, but he sent it.
Okay. So if you want a Pro Display XDR, Pro Stand, and VESA mount adapter, for your, let's see here. Well, let's just say that the top end models, I don't have specific pricing in front of me here, but let's just say that the top end model Mac Pro will cost you, oh, here we go. Let's see here. Like a fully spec'd out one could cost you like $45,000.
What? Excuse me?
Or yeah.
Questionable, I dare say.
Yeah, the company neglected to mention how much the top of the line model will cost. So The Verge shopped around for equivalent parts to the top end specs that Apple is promising. So it turns out to be like $33,720.88, which is likely a bare minimum, of course, because it's Apple. So, and that's before factory in the 4 GPUs, which could easily jack that price up to, $45,000 for a computer with an Apple on the side
buy,
of it.
A really nice car for that much money.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
So what? The Mac Pro, which is $6,000. 1,228.
You can buy a totally drivable car for that much money.
Yeah. So here's the price breakdown. So the Mac Pro, which is $6,000 base, 128 gigabyte DDR4 ECC RAM sticks, which are going to cost you about $17,868.
Oh my.
Two 2 terabyte SSDs, which are going to run you about $2,400. One 2.5 gigahertz 28 core Intel Xeon W processor, which is approximately, any guesses?
I don't know.
$7,453. Let's see. Two AMD Radeon Pro Vega 2 GPUs, which the price are unknown, but let's just say a $12,000 minimum. Let's see here. One Apple Afterburner accelerator card. The price is unknown at this point. One Apple Pro Display XDR monitor, $5,000. One Apple Pro stand for the Pro Display XDR monitor, $1,000. And one Apple Magic Keyboard and one magnetic trackpad, $228. I would never spend that much money on a computer. And again, that's just like the bare minimum right there, because Apple's gonna find a way to slap some extra amount of money onto that thing. Probably
it's gonna cost twice that, probably.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what pricing is actually going to be, but it's astronomical. It's going to be astronomical. So, anyway, but yeah. All right, well, that is about all I have for this week. I don't think you have anything else, do you?
Insanity.
Yeah. So that's what happened in the tech news this week. Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Leave a comment down below. Get subscribed. Do all that fun stuff. Turn on the bell for notifications. We'll see you next week here on the show. Bye.